Hello everyone, and this is Insularis Draco. This is a mod that came out for Medieval 2 pretty recently. And, there are quite a few Britain-focused campaigns in Total War history. Of course, you have Thrones of Britannia. You have the Kingdoms campaign, the Medieval 2 Kingdoms campaign, Britannia. You have the expansion for Medieval 1, Total War, Viking Invasion, which is basically another Britain campaign. And you have several mods based on Britain as well. But this mod is fantastic. This mod is my favorite Britain mod of all time. This is Insularis Draco. And the campaign takes place in a very dark period in British history. So, when the Romans withdrew from Britain in the early 5th century, during the time of Honorius, I believe, Britain was in a very tough state, overrun with, the borders were being overrun. And then, of course, you had the migrations at that point from the Germanic tribes. You had Scandinavian attacks from the north. A dark period. And it's dark because, not only because of the violence and the sort of collapse of the order, but also because we have very little archaeological evidence. And not only very little archaeological evidence, but also very little textual evidence of what was going on in Britain during this period. And this mod squeezes every ounce of interesting gameplay, scripts, and history it can to create an interesting Total War campaign based on this very dark period. So we have the standard Insularis Draco campaign, and one thing I really love is how they edit this campaign selection screen. It's just brilliant. It makes the game feel like a new game, right? And one thing I really love, the thing I love the most about this campaign selection screen, aside from it being actually on the map, so you can actually not only geographically visualize where your faction is, but also you have to go there and select it. I think that's helpful for a lot of people. Now, one thing I really like about this is that no matter which faction you select, it shows a related archaeological artifact from that area. So, for example, you have the kingdom of Ebrauk, or so Eberacum, and this is a Britain kingdom, and we don't have much archaeological evidence. You can read it in the description here that we don't have any archaeological evidence from after 400 AD here until the 600s. But so you have a dragonesque brooch here from the 2nd century, and then you have several other archaeological artifacts too that are actually from this time period. So I don't know why I showed you the Eberacum one that's not from this time period, but so you have the Magle stones from the 8th century for the Weep. Again, I'm very sorry for my Celtic. You have the Knocknagel stone from the 5th, 6th centuries. I actually want to go and look up these things now because I was inspired by Insularis Draco to go do so. I even took a course on this period. Not exactly on this period. I believe the course was Britain up to the Battle of Hastings, up to 1066. And we covered this period for a long time, and I don't remember a lot of this. But it's just great. It makes you interested in the period. It gives you interesting, specific items from the period that you might want to go and look into. And it does something that Europa Barbarorum does, and it ignites that interest in the time period, in that history. And that, I feel, is above anything else it does. But the campaign is great. So let's get into a battle here, and I'll show off the campaign map. and we'll get into a battle. I'll show off some of the units, and yeah, we'll take a look at that. Alright, so here we are at the campaign welcome screen for Insularis Draco, summer 452 AD. As Attila retreats after the cataclysmic battle on the Catalonian fields, Roman Gaul is left in ruins, and the imperial status quo is on the wane. Leaping into this power vacuum are various barbarian peoples, the Salian and Ripuarian Franks, the Visigoths, the Alemanni, and others have set their eyes upon Gaul's rich cities. In distant Ireland, the swift rise of the Uinail dynasty has ground to a halt due to the resistance of Laigen and Ulaid. Locher Macnial may hold the ceremonial capital of Timer, but his high kingship is widely opposed. Ireland may be remote, but it is not cut off from the world. British missionaries are slowly but surely converting the ruling class to Christianity, and in return Gaelic raiders plague the coasts of Wales and Cumbria. The former imperial province of Britannia, left to its own devices decades ago, has been divided among the Civitates, with a powerful king, Vortigern, possessing much of what lies between the Severn and the North Sea. In what will become Wales, Gwynedd is founded with aid from the Irish settlers who have taken advantage of the power vacuum, and Demet is even ruled by them. Above the Humber, the petty kingdoms of the Old North each vie for the supremacy to see who will succeed the old confederation of the Brigantes. Anyway, a great introduction indeed, and that basically shows off what the campaign is all about. So a cool thing about Insularis Draco, of course, is the campaign map, so you can see this nice sort of Britannic font is everywhere, and you have these nice settlement models on the campaign map. I think that's a nice touch. I really do like that a lot. You can see here some of the unique buildings. So there are a lot of your standard types of buildings like town barracks, chieftain's hall, armorer, things like that. But you also have unique buildings like the Rufeinig muster, and these give different types of units and different public order bonuses based on the different types of populations these muster fields draw from. And yeah, there's a lot here to talk about, but we don't have to dwell on that right now, because I want to toggle the fog of war to show off what this map looks like. I have to say, aside from the Thrones of Britannia map, which I think looks really cool, this is a nice one. It's very large. It's very large. I believe this is much larger than the Invasio Britannia. Sorry, the Invasio Barbarorum map, Conquestus Britanniae. And this one is, I believe, more stable as well. That one had some issues on the campaign map. But in any case, yeah, this is pretty much what I want to show regarding the campaign for Insularis Draco. So let's get into a battle here, and I'll show off some of these units. One other thing about this mod I want to mention is that there are a lot of historical updates, and they are very well written. You know, I would say they are better written than even the Europa Barbarorum This Year in History updates. It's quite nice, and basically everything we know about this period, boom, it's on there. It's sort of summarized and digestible for a popular audience. So I really do enjoy that. All right, so here we are in battle here. And let's take a look here at our units. So here we have our Ebarakam Kip mounted javelinman. And we have our captain here who looks quite nice indeed. What else have we got? We have our Vigiles. So a lot of these units, because it's kind of the post-Roman period, are Roman inspired. So it's pretty cool to see the sort of hybrid units and unit rosters. Here we have our Custodes, our urban swordsmen. We're going to get destroyed because the enemy army is like a lot bigger than ours. We have Helguir huntsman. Looking good. That's a nice animation. Is that their standard animation? I don't even know. And we have Sagitguir, bowman. Yeah, anyway. Oh, did the enemy general just charge in the Manor Lancers? Oh, and actually the little unit selection icons are also sort of Britannic themed, so that's very cool indeed. Let's see our attackers. It's mostly Custodes, the similar type units we have. But in any case, I think they look pretty nice. They're maybe not quite as flashy as something like the Tsardom's unit rosters or Broken Crescent, but I mean, it's appropriate for the era and the geographic horizon. Wow, these guys look pretty dirty. Well, they are huntsmen. Interesting. Like they have a lot of dirt on them. Textured in. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. This is Insularis Draco. I really like this mod. This might be a mod of the year. It's still in active development. There's a lot of stuff coming. There are a lot of bug fixes as well because there's some stability issues, I believe. But in any case, yeah, if you enjoy videos about the historical Total Wars and their mods, consider subscribing to the channel, consider liking this video, and I'll see you in the next one later.